Buddy, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. I am so glad to be here with you guys, and I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Here with you, I'm glad to be on the air, and I sure hope that you guys are having a great day. I will tell you that it is the 3rd of September already, and it is 11 a.m. Pacific time if you're listening live, and we are live. I want to let you know we're heading over to 12radio.com. That's number 2 radio.com. Click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat room. I am not sure if I'm live. Scott, can you hear me? Guys, I think we have lost Skype, so stick with me here in the live stream. Technology's not been on our side this morning. I'm not sure why, but whatever. We will prevail, right? Alrighty. Well, again, I want to let you know that you can find us over in the chat room by heading over to number 2 radio.com. Click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. That's how to find us. If you've not joined before, you'll want to ask for entry, and my producer Scott is standing by. He'll gladly let you in the room. So that's how to find us, easy enough. I also want to let you know that I am live streaming this event through the chat room. So if you'd rather watch it, you can. If you want to watch it later on, it is always archived over at YouTube, and that's Domestic Mystic on YouTube. So that is how to find it. Today is Animal Communication Day. It's the first Tuesday of the month, which means that we're here to talk to and with and about all of our fur babies. So that makes me very happy. I love it if you guys bring your pictures. I love seeing all of their darling faces. And if you guys want to show up here with all of your pictures, I would love that. So bring me your questions for living and for past animals, of course. And we'll do what we can to bring them forward. So that's what's going on. And I'll keep an eye on the chat room, and we'll do all of our regular stuff first, of course, and then we'll get there. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. I have to tell you, I did. It was the first, my son's first home football game of the season, and his first collegiate appearance, actually. So he did play last spring in the fall, or the spring game, but that's just a scrimmage amongst the team. And so this was the first time that he got to put on a uniform and take the field, and he did get to play a tiny bit. So it was a ton of fun. You know, when you play a college sport, you go from being a star on your field and a senior to being a freshman and pretty much, less than nothing. And he redshirted last year, so he didn't play. So coming back this year, this is really his first opportunity to really have a chance to even compete for a position. But you're still basically a freshman, and there are seniors and juniors and sophomores, and there's a lot of people above you to fight for positions with. So there's a lot more sitting on the bench, a lot less actual play time for kids that in college when you're a little younger, typically, not everybody. But anyway, that's been a really big thing for him to adjust to. And lots of kids. I think it's really interesting because every year they bring 20 to 30 freshmen on. And by the end of the year, a bulk of them, 2/3 of them, have quit. They can't take it. They can't take the rigor, they can't take the physicality, they can't take the academics, or they simply cannot take not being a star on the team. All of those things, I think, come into play. But I thought he learned a lot in college, or in high school football. It was nothing compared to what he's learning in college about himself. It's been quite the experience, a really good one, a really powerful one, but yeah, pretty interesting. But it was still very fun to go down and watch his game. His team actually won 48-12, so it was a huge blowout, and against their biggest rival. They'd been preparing for this game forever and talking about it and just ready to, knock these guys out, and they did. So anyway, lots of fun. So that's what's up in my world. Plus, I did get to talk to, I got to stay with my daughter. So that's fun too. Matea lives down there now and started her new job today. She's there currently. So let's all cross fingers and toes. It's a good experience. She transferred from the nursing home here to the nursing home there. So she's kind of an anomaly because she works as a CNA, but she's not going into nursing. Being a CNA scared her out of nursing, unfortunately, but she's going into occupational therapy, so a related field, but at any rate. So lots of good things going on in my world. I want to go ahead and let's jump in and take a look at Luminous magazine, and then we'll move forward with everything else we want to do around here. So I'm going to put a link here in the chat room for you guys, but you can also find it by heading over to katie-weaver.com and just click on the magazine link and you'll find it. So, but I'm going to put a link up here so that we can go through a couple of things in the magazine. Alrighty. New cover this week. I'm loving this one. It just looks to me like a bench I would really want to sit on out in the woods. I had to hold myself back. I'm ready for autumn. I'm ready for fall leaves. I'm ready for all of the covers, you know, that are all those gorgeous scenes. And I thought, it's going to be a long fall if you do, you know, 8-10 weeks of fall leaves. So maybe back up a tiny bit. It's hard to hold me back. Alrighty. But it is September, and there's something for me that holds a lot of magic in that. This is such a deeply magical time of the year, and for me personally, I'm just really feeling it. When I got up on Sunday morning, I was writing the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish and realized, oh, it's September 1st. It's September 1st. And some tension left my body in a way that I was kind of surprised. It just felt right. It felt good. September 1st. Yeah, we have survived the summer and off we go. Is it surviving? Well, for some of you, you know, the summer is, that's your greatest time, right? For me personally, it is not. I love things about summer. I love camping and family and going on drives and softball, and there's lots of things to love about summer, but the heat, my body isn't a fan. And so I guess maybe that was it, but what a relief to feel fall coming. And here, it's still hot during the day. It was 95 yesterday, very offensive, but you can smell fall in the early morning, late at night. We were told that you could see the northern lights here over the last few nights, and a stunning look at the Milky Way. So Scott and I took a midnight drive out on the desert to see what we could see. We did not see any northern lights, so I'm understanding that they were seen a ways west of us, but that's okay. What we did see, though, was a phenomenal look at the Milky Way and just the gorgeous night sky, crisp, cool. It smells like fall. We'll take it. I wrote an article for you today that I'm going to share with you here as well. Something amazing happened last night to my family. Just amazing. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. So yesterday, one of our local news sources had posted a throwback article from 1990. It's pretty hilarious. The reporter is wearing black acid wash jeans. And the quality is horrible. Isn't that funny? You know, I mean, of course it is, but just, it makes me laugh, but just the film quality. But anyway, so it was at our state fair that happens this time of year. And so it was just an interview about the fair, I think. But anyway, there were people, all these kids are gathered around him that were at the fair. And, you know, basically trying to get into the shot to be on TV. And a friend of ours saw it and watched the video and saw something extraordinary. At about the 30-second mark, there is a boy that shows up next to the anchor in a hot pink tank top. There's actually two boys, one with dark hair and one with a little bit lighter, more like caramel colored hair. The boy I'm talking about is the boy with the lighter hair. He showed up in the screen. And he stood there and looked around. And that boy died in 1993. He's my cousin Eric. Somebody that was as close to a brother as I've ever had. Eric was my very dear friend. I spent a lot of time with him. We double dated a lot with other with, he'd bring a boy and I'd bring a girl, and we'd date together, and we had a lot of fun over the years. We talked on the phone, gosh, almost every day when I was in junior high and early high school, and he meant an enormous amount to me. Once when I was having trouble with a boy that was bullying me, I guess, getting inappropriate, he came from he lived in a different town. He and his best friend came. They showed up. They wanted to know what they could do. I loved him. I loved him so much. I still do. And he was killed when he was 17 in a car accident. And it made a lasting effect on me, of course. I was 15 when he died, and it was the first major loss I'd ever had. I'd lost grandparents, but they were old, and it was different, than losing a kid. And I've never forgotten any of the events surrounding his funeral or his death or any of that time. About 6 months after he died, I had my first dream about him, my first visitation with him. And he showed me that he was okay. He showed me what he was doing. And he asked me to let his mom know. And I didn't at first. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't really understand what being a medium was about. I was 15. So I told my mom. I had this dream about Eric, and she was fascinated, and she asked me a lot of questions. And she called Eric's mom, my Aunt Roma, and told her all of those things. And then she said, Roma would like to talk to you. She wants to hear about your dream. And I was so weirded out, bashful. I didn't know. I was afraid, I guess, but I did share with her what I knew, what he told me, what I saw. And what he told me was that he was with a lot of other men, a lot of other young men, and they were working towards good on the planet. They were helping people. They were doing the things that I would always expect Eric to do anyway. He was one in a million. He was one of those people that would always be the first to step up to help. He had a sense of humor that was crazy and wild, and was constantly pranking and teasing and kept you on your toes. Anyway, that was my first, but I've had many visits with Eric and from Eric over the years. Sometimes nods to contact one of his family members that maybe they were struggling. Sometimes just a hello. He wore CK1 cologne, way too much of it because he was a teenager. And if he wants my attention, sometimes I just have that fill up my senses, in a place where it shouldn't be, like, my house where no one wears that, or my car where no one's wearing that. And suddenly the scent will overwhelm me, and I know someone's trying to get your attention, and it's always him. Anyway, so back to the video. So yesterday, a family friend saw the video, and she saw Eric in the video, and it was astonishing. No one had seen it before. We didn't even know this existed. She sent it to his sister. His sister verified that that was certainly him, and then sent it out to his mom and to his other sister and to all of us. And I've watched it over and over and over and over, and there he is. And it's just so cool to get to just see him like that. She didn't tell me what I was watching. She said, watch this. So I texted her and said, did you get hacked on Facebook? Because you just told me to watch a video. She said, no, it's really me. You got to be careful these days, right? I watched it, and I waited, and suddenly, it took my breath away. There he was, just standing there, just looking just like he looked. That was him. It was so amazing. I've seen a lot of amazing hellos from heaven in this line of work, but this one takes the cake. Wow. It was just so exciting to get to see him. And of course, we passed it around Facebook. There's been a lot of chatter, lots of reminiscing, old friends connecting. It's been really fun. I put a link to the video. It's about 40 seconds, 50 seconds long. I put it in the chat room. There's a link to it here in my article as well in Luminous, if you want to watch it and see if you can pick him out. If you don't, that's cool too. I know it's more for me, but wow. What a joyous day. What a cool thing to have happen. I loved it. We'll keep our eyes peeled for those hellos from heaven, right? They come. They come every so often. In dreams, in visitations from animals, sometimes in an old video from a very old news story. Alrighty. Keeping moving through Luminous, our chimpanzee. Our animal guidance from Kai this month is the chimpanzee, which I loved. What a beautiful article she wrote, of course, with some history, with some knowledge, and with some messages from the chimpanzee. I loved it. Thank you, Kai. Of course, there's all of our regular stuff. I just wanted to make sure that you have seen it and have a chance to go through it. There's a lot of great stuff in here. I'm so excited about and thrilled with all of this stuff that people bring. The articles in this magazine come from spirit. You know, I don't guide them at all. They ask me sometimes, do you have a theme this week? Is there something I'm supposed to be focusing on? Never. I will never do that, because I want you to write about whatever it is that your spirit wants you to write about. They know I don't, right? And somehow it always comes together in something that is powerful for everybody. So I hope that you have a chance to go through, Luminous, and find anything that jumps out at you. Lots of great articles this week, lots of really strong messages. So I loved it. Before we go any further, of course, I want to make sure that we discuss a little bit the situation that we have right now going on in Florida, and send all of our love and prayers there. Obviously, there's a lot going on, right? And I want to make sure that all of you that are on the coast, not just Florida, but up the coast, of course, know that we do care, that we are thinking about you, and that in the days and weeks to come, we will do what we can to help, because we are one. It's been an interesting energy the last few days in the daily reading that I write, the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish. Keeps coming out at me with anxious energy, imposing energy. The empaths have been feeling very, anxious. Today, the reading indicated that tensions are a little high, and people that are overly stressed may be a little more combative than normal. It's not really the stuff I like to write about, to be honest. But if it is what it is, then that's what it is. But anyway, I think collectively we are all really feeling the buildup and the anticipation of this hurricane, as well as just a building of the collective energy. So if you're feeling weird and off, that's probably why. It would be good to work on your root chakra, help make sure that you're good and grounded, and maybe do a little bit of clearing to just help you to get your center back in general. But, so in that energy, I would like to do a little bit of work. I want to drum for you, and we're going to drum for the coast. I keep wanting to just say for Florida, but we know that's not just Florida. It's Florida, it's the Carolinas, I believe it's Georgia. Let's drum for everyone. But today, because it is the Animal Communication Show, I was thinking about the wildlife, the animals on shore and the animals in the ocean that are deeply affected by events like this. I'm going to drum. I want you to hold space in any way that you choose. You could pray, you can chant, you can speak out loud, you can visualize, you can send energy. You do you. You know what to do. I'm going to drum. That's going to amplify the work that we're doing for the people, for Mother Earth, for the animals, for all affected by this hurricane incoming. All righty. My drum up and ready here. All right, are you ready? Close your eyes, please. Take a deep breath with me. And let's go ahead and go to work. Good. Okay. So there's that, right? Okay. So we'll continue to do our work. We'll continue to work on behalf of our friends and our family and all of our spirit family, all of you that are being affected. So thank you very much for that. Okay. Well, that's a good point. Jane said that the Bahamas need our vibes big time. Very true. Kai said for the sea turtle nests. Oh my gosh. Yeah, for sure, Kai. And we didn't even talk about the Amazon. Yeah. She needs a lot right now, this mother of ours. We owe it to her to give it. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and do our weekly reading. So this, of course, comes from my deck, from the Ground, Bless, Protect, and Move deck. And if ever you would like more information or want to order it, you can find it over on my website at katie-weaver.com. Okay, so of course we'll pull 5 cards. We're looking for a Ground card, a Bless card, a Protect card, and a Move card. Oh, that's weird. So 2 Protect cards fell out of the deck. And what do you know when you're using cards, right? If a card falls out, you're supposed to use it. So I guess we get 2 Protect cards today because that's what we were told to do. And believe it or not, I know Scott won't agree here, but I actually do what I'm told to do for the very most part. I'm serious. Okay, what are we lacking? Oh, a boost card. Okay. And of course there is a part of this deck that are the boost cards, which are just cards to give you an extra, well, you know, boost. Okay, sorry. You know I really do usually pull these before the show starts, but today I messed around for way too long with other stuff and I didn't have time for that. Okay, and then technology made me pay for that, but it's whatever. All right, the Ground card this week is the Animals card. Perfect. Yeah, that's so funny. This happened last time too. Last time we had an animal communication show, this card showed up. Funny how spirit works, right? It's pretty trippy. So this is the Animals card. So what does it mean to ground with animals? Well, animals are very grounding. And so spending time with animals, petting animals, making physical contact, those are all really powerful ways to ground. If you do not have a fur baby within your own reach, go to a friend's house. Go to a shelter. Go to a park. Find a way to connect with animals in some way this week. The Bless card is the throat chakra, which I think is interesting because there's been a lot of talk lately in the daily readings for empaths to really speak up and use their voice. There's been a lot of energy behind that. Like, you really aren't going to get away with standing in the background right now, and you are definitely going to have to stand up when there's things that are going on in your world that aren't cool. A lot of times empaths will just kind of dust things under the rug. They'll just kind of, you know, they'll suffer in silence at the expense of themselves so that other people don't have to ever be confronted or told anything, but you're not really getting away with it right now. So, yep, kind of fun. I am putting a link in the chat room, by the way. If you've not subscribed to the daily reading, this is the way to do it. So you just click on this link, fill out the little form, and then I will send you the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish every morning, and I'll send you Luminous once a week. So you'll get 8 emails a week from me. And very fun. The Domestic Mystic Daily Dish has grown. I started this almost a year ago now, and that list has grown from 0 to 700. Isn't that fun? I send it out to 700 people every day. Pretty cool. I love it. But anyway, because that keeps coming up today, I'm putting it there in case you haven't subscribed and would like to. But if you head over to katie-weaver.com, you can subscribe right there too. No problemo. So anyway, blessing the throat chakra. How do you do it? Put your hands on your throat, right? I know, it kind of looks like you're choking yourself, but you don't have to. But connect to that throat chakra, and then speak out loud everything you would like for your throat. Perhaps you would like clarity, courage, great communication, whatever it is, right? And then I am a big fan of anointing chakra blessings with an essential oil to seal them. You don't have to do that, but I love doing that. And for the throat, I always recommend lemongrass oil. 1 drop, swipe it across that throat, you're good to go. All right. Protect. So I told you 2 protect cards fell out. So the first one was burn sage. So burn sage to clear any negative energy from yourself, from your space. Just clear things out. And then protect with shields up. I love this visualization of just putting up a shield between you and another person. And interestingly, like I said in the Daily Dish, it sounds like we have some pretty combative people around us right now. You might need to shield up just from negativity, from toxic people, from just ugly stuff happening around you. You know, this could be at work, it could be at home, it could certainly just be in public, but a lot of poor behavior happening these days. And sometimes you'll find yourself really needing to speak up, and that's great. But other times you just need to shield up, get away from it, and not let it, you know, totally ruin your own vibe. All right, the move card is swim. So that's it. I'm going swimming. That's all I can do. Move your body. You don't have to go swimming. But somehow, some way this week, move yourself. You don't have to run a 10K. But moving your body helps to release trapped energy, anything that's stuck that might just still be affecting you. Move yourself a little bit to help release that. And then the boost card is the daydream card. Daydream or dream all day. You need a break to rest and rejuvenate. Your mind, body, and spirit need a jammy day. One day this week, at least for a little while. Take an opportunity to just chill, just relax, just rest. It would be good for you. And daydreaming is brilliant because that's a really good way to just tune into whatever it is that your spirit needs you to know right now. Pretty good. Okay. So there's all of that. I have something fun to share with you. I've been busily creating. Lately, I have had some creative vibes going that don't really have anything to do with being a psychic advisor, except for that they do. Because if you guys are like me, you kind of like everything in your world to be a little bit about that magic that's in you, you know, the things that you're passionate about. So I've been having some fun creating. So I have created a t-shirt line, a Crystal Obsession t-shirt line. There's some more coming that you guys are going to die for. I think I am. Maybe you won't. I am. But I want to share with you a couple of things. So I have started this fun little t-shirt line that is all crystal t-shirts. So I'm going to share it here in the chat room. You can find it at katie-weaver.com. But some of the shirts, and I know you guys, some of you that are like crystal obsessed like me, you can relate. Fueled by crystals and coffee. I have more crystals than friends. It's not hoarding if it's crystals. Manifest. Crystal hoarder. So what? I have a crystal for that. I loved that one. I keep seeing those for oils, you know, t-shirts that say I have an oil for that. I have a crystal for that. Crystal vibes, crystal queen, and peace, love, and crystals. That's what all of the shirts say. I just think they're so cute and fun. I spent last week falling down the rabbit hole of just creating. So I put a link in the chat room if you're interested. That's where you can take a peek at them. I also developed a line of chakra mugs. I thought this was really fun because sometimes you find yourself in a place where there's a certain chakra that you're just really working on. Not necessarily because you're struggling, but because this is a chakra that you just want to develop. I hear this from people quite a bit. I have clients that ask me, what chakra should I be focusing on right now? What can I develop more? And, you know, the third eye is kind of a go-to for that. Anybody who really wants to develop their intuition goes there, which is fine, but there's so much more to it than that, you know? Maybe you want to really develop your throat because you want to become a public speaker, or you want to communicate better at work, or you want to communicate better in your relationship, or you want to write a book or some other kind of expression. Perhaps you want to work on your sacral chakra because you're creating like crazy and you want to support that. Maybe you want to work on your root because you've been told a million times that your root chakra is unstable, you know, whatever. So I'm putting a link in the chat room to my chakra mug collection and chakra tote collection, both. And there'll be chakra t-shirts coming too. I just, you know, it's taking some time. But I'm having a blast with these, so I wanted to share them with you guys. One thing I have to do for myself is I have to honor my need to create. And it's not always writing. I wish it was sometimes, because I know there's a lot of writing I need to get out into the world, but you know, I'm not always that cerebral. Sometimes I need something that's more just creative and fun, and so that's where all of my little collections are coming in right now. It's just being able to be free to create, do something fun and interesting, make beautiful designs. I'm just loving it. So anyway, I want to share with you guys because I know that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Plus, maybe there's something there that you need, right? Or that somebody that you know needs. I was thinking about the mug collections, like for Christmas and stuff like that, for people that, you know, like say you have a kid who is really struggling with their self-esteem. Maybe you send them a few solar plexus type products to help boost them up. I don't know. Things I'm thinking about. My kids get drop shipped things from Amazon and from Jade Bloom essential oils. When I see something they need, something they're working on, something I can support them with, that's typically where it comes from, which cracks me up. Alrighty, well, I want to get into our topic. I sure don't want to run out of time today. I need to go and see. Okay, so this was from Jennifer. She said, I can't listen live, but I have a request from Marcus, if I could. He wanted his dog, Shayna, to know that he feels bad that we left her. He was only 3 years old, and we could not take her with us to the apartment we rent. She was a German Shepherd and would mother him when he was walking. He would get close to the gravel road, and she would push him down with her nose and keep him safe. He asked about her out of the blue last night. If he could get a message from her, that would be absolutely fabulous. I would love to do that for you, Jen, and for Marcus. So let's tune in to Shayna. It was hard on her too. We don't have to tell Marcus that, but it was hard on her too, the transition of not being with him. She felt like it was her calling to care for him. She's going to come back though, Jennifer, and when Marcus gets a little bit older, you guys will be in the position for him to have a dog again, and she is going to re-enter his life. She's waiting for the right time to come be a part of his world. There's a divine calling here between Marcus and between Shayna. I wonder if that's why he asked about her last night. He's feeling her around him. There's a deep connection there, and she is a part of his therapy and a part of helping him to feel loved, feel accepted. It's not now, I know, but at some point it will become relevant for you guys and capable of you being able to have a dog again. And she's coming back to him. How sweet. I know he's feeling it. That's why that came up. I love that. So to Marcus, a message from Shayna is that she loves him, she misses him, and she'll be back soon. Oh, I really love that. I love what her energy can do for him when he's feeling lonely, when he's feeling like he's struggling to connect with others, or when he's been struggled with kids at school and is feeling hurt. This is an energy, and when he's missing dad, this is an energy that can come and help you, you know, an energy that can come and support him in a way that maybe none of the rest of us can. So I love it so, so much. So thank you, Jen, for giving me that opportunity, and Thank you to Shayna for being there. I love it. Okay. All right. So back to the chat room here. Taking a look. All right. Sheila says, I would love to hear from Maya today. I miss her so much. Hope she comes through. So Maya crossed over the Rainbow Bridge just a few weeks ago. And what a darling picture of the two of you. Yeah, let's take a look at Miss Maya. She said she misses you too. She misses your touch. She really misses being petted and loved in that way. She's been around a lot though. Even during your trip, she came along. Actually, she's keeping a really close eye on your mom right now, Sheila. She's seeing herself kind of as a guardian, a guide for her in a sense, with health matters. Yeah, so she's a part of helping to support mom during this time in her life. That's really sweet. She's really amped up her role. And boy, her spirit's strong. She's so much stronger than she was the last time you and I checked into her. But that's what she's showing me right now, is that she is really front and center with your mom right now. Kind of, well, yeah, as a guardian and a caretaker. That's kind of what she's showing me. But yeah, she's very, very close. Yeah. She says she knows that you are feeling very sensitive today, and she said you can't quit checking the news and checking in with family and worrying about the hurricane, that it's really right on top of, you know, it's at the top of your thoughts and what you're thinking about, and she wants you to know that she's there with you. So lots of love from her. And I love that she's taken up this role with your mom. It's just a much stronger role than she has been able to take here the last few years. And she's loving that. Okay. Marlene says, I hope you can check in with Nala today. She finished her antibiotics. Nala is a kitty. She finished her antibiotics for her bladder infection, is now on antidepressants to help control the inappropriate urinating on the furniture. She has done pretty good, but yesterday she peed on Tom while he was sitting on the couch. I don't know if she was just upset because of the out-of-town guests and dog this past weekend. We have another hurricane coming at us on Thursday. The eye wall will pass through us. We are planning on staying, and I'm hoping you can help let our kitties Nala and Fig and Leo know that they are safe. I'm really worried about Nala though, as a lot of the inappropriate potty issues started with the last hurricane. Yeah, absolutely. Let's check in with her and with Fig and... No, I guess, sorry. We're going to check in with Fig and Leo first, and then we're going to do Nala last, because she's our tough customer, right? All right. So Leo the dog, I'm going to check in with him first. He's good. He's feeling very happy-go-lucky to me. You are going to notice him clinging pretty tightly to you. He already does that, but even more than normal during the hurricane. But I am going to show him that there's going to be some time where we're really going to be in the house, not going out. Some time where the lights might go out. Oh, nice. He's really matured a lot, Marlene. He is looking at this as his duty to protect you, but I showed him you feeling anxious about the hurricane, and he really stepped up into that role of wanting to be there to comfort you. So consider him your therapy dog during this period. That's really sweet. He's grown up a lot. All right, let me check in with Fig. Fig's another kitty. Fig does not care. Fig not a fan of the other dog that has been there. Not a huge fan of the house guests either. Like, he can roll with it, but he's pretty glad to see everybody leave too. All right, he's not concerned about the hurricane at all. All right, now our toughie, Miss Nala. I think there's something more physical going on. She did not pee on Tom on purpose. I mean, I think it looked like she did, but it just came on so hard and fast. I'm not convinced that urinary tract infection is cleared up. She's still showing me pain and burning. And maybe she just has some residual inflammation, but there's still something physical going on here. That you're probably going to want to check back in with your vet, and let them see what they think. But that doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel right to me. And again, that wasn't in punishment. It came on so hard and fast that she just went. And she did not feel good about it. Okay, so I'm going to let her know that we're not angry, and we're sorry that it happened too. Like, she did not mean to pee on Tom. She would not do that on purpose. Okay. All right, again, I'm just reiterating, litter box, no matter what. There's absolutely no place that is appropriate to pee in this house but in the box. I also let her know that during the hurricane, she kind of let me know actually, that like during the heart of things, that she would be very comfortable in the bathroom with the door shut, or another small room where she's safe and confined. So I did let her know that that's happening, and that you're all going to stay together and everyone is safe. And just reiterating the litter box for her again, that it absolutely has to happen every time. And that we know, I wanted to acknowledge for her that we do know that she's still not feeling right, so that we can continue to work on that on her behalf, but that she doesn't need to pee on the furniture to let us know. Okay. She said she loves you and she's sorry. She feels bad. She knows that she's been a pain in the ass with this. She does. And she feels bad about it. Darn it. Poor sister. This has been a really rough time for her. Alrighty, Marlene, let me know if I can help, okay? Okay. Domenica says, as you know, we've been wanting to get a dog, have been a bit undecided. Today I spoke to a lady who has an English cream golden retriever who is 4 years old that she is selling. She's a breeder. Do you think this dog is for us? I do not. Actually, I wish I did. You know how much I would love for you to get a dog. I'm still hoping you get a dog. This dog has got behaviors that she didn't tell you about. I wouldn't recommend this dog for someone who hasn't got a lot of dog experience, because she's telling you that this dog is really wonderful and well behaved, but it's not entirely true. This dog's actually been through a lot and has some emotional stuff, and I wouldn't recommend her for you guys. I mean, if you get her, I'll help you with her, of course, but it feels to me like she would be a dog that needs a lot, and you know, a lot of understanding, a lot of I don't know, specialty stuff to get her over the hump. She's been through a lot. However, don't let that discourage you from continuing to look. I don't hate the idea of you guys getting a dog that's not a puppy. Maybe that would be less overwhelming. This one, though, I just have a real glitch with. I'm sorry. All right, Pamela says she's wondering about her dog, Bailey. She is more anxious after moving into the new home. This dog has literally lived in a hotel all summer long. She's been a total trooper. So now we're finally in the new home, and she's pretty anxious about it. Pamela, I think I can help with this. What I'm hearing about Bailey is that she just doesn't know that this is forever. She's not sure when you guys are moving again or leaving again. She's having a really hard time settling into that. There's also some smells in the new home that are making her nervous. Just old, things you're not smelling, that her little sensitive nose are smelling. So let me work on that with her for just a minute. All right, so first and foremost, we're just assuring her that this is her house. We are not leaving. She was actually asking, Pamela, you'll die laughing, she was asking to go back to the hotel. Wondering when you're going back to the hotel. So I'm just showing her that you're not, that bags are unpacked, beds are made. This is her home now. I'm showing her back in the backyard where she can run and play, back into the house where she can lay, cuddle, and be comfortable with her sister and with you guys. Good. Just letting her know that this is what's happening. When you go to work, the sounds around her, like the sounds in the neighborhood, are freaking her out a little bit. It was quieter in the hotel. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm just showing her that she's safe. You know that nothing's going to happen, that she's safe. She's having a hard time keeping your house safe because she doesn't really understand what's out there. This is new noise for her. So I'm going to let her know that that's going to get better as we live there a little bit longer. And maybe we can take some walks or drives around the neighborhood with her head out the window so she can get a better feel for the neighborhood itself and for the scents and the sounds. But I just want to make sure she knows that she's totally safe here. Yep, and that you moved her here because you knew that she would do well here. I would also recommend some Rescue Remedy for her for the next little while. Rescue Remedy is a Bach flower essence. You can get it at the health food store, and you can put a little in her mouth. You can put it in their water too, but I'm not a big fan of putting it in their water because then they just don't drink the water. But there is a dog version that doesn't have any alcohol in it, and I would recommend that for her for a little while just to help her settle in. But she's going to be okay. Okay, Catherine says, I would love to hear from my first feline companion, Kelly. No pic, as it was in the 70s and cameras were scarce then. Thank you as ever. Catherine. Let's feel into little Kelly. She was an adorable little sweetheart. She says that she was there for you during some real times of loneliness. I mean, you'd spend a lot of time just cuddling up with her. Yep, during times that you felt kind of abandoned and lost, and she was a companion for you. She says that was her honor to do, and that you took excellent care of her, and that you made everyone else take good care of her too. She says you tried. She is so sweet. There is just nothing but love from her, honey. Just nothing but love. But she says it was her honor to be with you during some periods of really pretty great emotional distress, and she was a part of helping support you, and she feels really powerful with that. So nothing but love from that girl. You guys were supposed to be together, I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay. All right. Greg shared a picture of his darling princess, Shay. He said she went backstage about 3 years ago over the Rainbow Bridge, but she's here with me every day. She most certainly is. Look at the grin on her face, Greg. I think that says it all, right? I love that. Yep. You know. I'm glad that you know that she's there every day. She is a comic. She's funny and silly, and I think she keeps things light for you, Greg, when you need it. That's really sweet. Okay, Jean is bringing us her dog, Juniper. She says, does Juniper have any messages for me? Let's take a peek. Juniper is adorable, by the way. Absolutely darling. She's kind of anxious, Jean. I was curious as to why. It's you're anxious. Is this about work? I feel like this is about work or money for you. She's picking up on that a little bit. She says she really wants to, she wants to be in charge really bad. And you guys jostle a little bit in who's going to be in charge. So I'm assuring her that you are in charge, and that while you do worry sometimes, that you guys are safe and okay. She would take the reins from you and run with them in a heartbeat. But she might run right into a brick wall. She is so funny. She's really, sometimes I think a little too wild for her own good, but she is a doll. She loves you so much. I think you guys are really great companions. But that was the first thing I picked from her today, was that little bit of anxiety. So let's just be aware of that, and we'll just keep assuring her that she's fine and you're fine and everybody's good. Well, guys, we've done what we do. We've talked down to the very end of the show. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I want to let you know that you'll find me on Thursday with the Psychic Sisters, and that you'll find me over at 12listen.com for the rest of the day and evening. If you need a reading or some energy work, some mediumship, the DNA healing, whatever it is, come see me. Let's talk. Let's do it. All right, guys, you've been listening to The Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.